Welcome back to AR Recaps. Today I am going to explain the movie Ip Man, released in year 2008. The movie starts in Foshan with the character Ip Man in 1930s, a major center for southern Chinese martial arts, where many schools actively recruit students and fight against one another. Despite being the most accomplished martial artist in Foshan, Wing Chun instructor Ip Man is humble and keeps a low profile. He has no need to take any disciples, because he is self-sufficiently affluent, and instead spends his days training, meeting with friends, and spending time with his family. His wife, on the other hand, is frequently resentful of the time he spends practicing and conversing with friends and coworkers about martial arts. Ip is respected in Foshan for his abilities in friendly closed-door competitions with local masters, despite not being a professional martial artist. Ip's reputation is further reinforced when he overcomes Jin Shanzhao, an aggressive, unpleasant, and highly trained northern Chinese martial arts master, defending the regional pride of Foshan's fellow southern stylists and others. Everyone in Foshan suffers as a result of the Japanese invasion in 1937. The Japanese claim Ip's house and use it as their Foshan headquarters. Ip and his family lose their fortune and are forced to relocate to a rundown home. Ip accepts work as a coal mine coolie in order to support his family. General Miura, a karate teacher from Japan, creates a competition venue for Chinese martial artists to compete against his military cadets. Every match that the Chinese win earns them a sack of rice. Li Zhao, a former police officer and Ip's acquaintance, is now employed as a Japanese translator, and has extended the offer to the martial artists working as coolies. Ip initially reluctant to take part in the bouts. When his friend Lin goes missing, though, he volunteers to help with the investigation. When he watches a fellow Foshan master, Master Liu, brutally murdered for picking up a bag of rice from a previous victory after losing a second match to 3 karateka, he becomes outraged. He also discovers that Lin was slain in a previous fight. Ip, unable to contain his wrath, demands a fight with 10 karateka at the same time. Despite not having practiced Wing Chun since the invasion began, in order to save what little food his family had to survive, he viciously crushes each of them with a violent, yet effective onslaught of punches. His martial art prowess was on display, with little of the control he had shown in earlier encounters. Miura is piqued by Ip's prowess, and wants to learn more about him, and see him fight again. Ip pays a visit to his Foshan friend Chao Ching Chuan, who owns and operates a cotton factory. Chao informs Ip that his employees are being harassed and extorted by a highway robbery group commanded by Jin Shanzhao. Ip teaches the workers Wing Chun as a form of self-defense. Meanwhile, when Ip fails to return to the ring, Miura becomes irritated and dispatches men to find him. These men harass Ip's family, and Ip renders them helpless. Ip and his family then flee to Li Zhao's home for safety. In the meantime, the robbers return to the cotton factory, demanding money. The workers retaliate by employing the skills Ip taught them. Ip appears at this point and defeats Jin Shanzhao, warning him not to bother the workers again. Ip is ultimately discovered at the cotton factory by the Japanese forces. Miura informs Ip that if he agrees to teach the Japanese soldiers martial arts, his life will be spared. Ip rejects and challenges Miura to a fight, which Miura accepts due to his passion for martial arts and the fact that declining the challenge would be humiliating to the Japanese. The match between Ip and Miura is held in Foshan Square, and is open to the public. The two fighters appear to be evenly matched at first, but Miura becomes overwhelmed, and is unable to defend himself from Ip's blows as he uses him as a wooden dummy, inflicting a terrible pounding, and definitely winning. IP glances across to the crowd, and hears the Chinese praising him as the beaten general lies down after his defeat. Within the mob, he spots his wife and child with Chow, Miura's deputy, Sato, then shoots him. The Chinese crowd and the Japanese soldiers engage in a brawl as a result of this. Li Zhao murders Sato with Sato's own gun during the scuffle. In the middle of the turmoil, Ip is hauled away. He lives and flees to Hong Kong with his family, it is revealed. IP established a Wing Chun school there, and among his students is Bruce Lee. And this is the end of IPMAN 2008 recap video. Thanks for watching and see you in a new recap video.